How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show, we're going to take a look back at last night's Premier League games. And we're also going to be taking a look at Saïd Benrahma because his move to Lyon has collapsed.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So, like I said, we're going to take a look back at last night's Premier League games. Two games, and first one we're going to talk about is West Ham against Bournemouth. 1-1 draw. And what I'll say with this is that Bournemouth will probably be kicking themselves that they didn't take the chances in the first half. They took the lead within the opening 2 minutes. An absolute calamitous goal for West Ham to give away. Calvin Phillips on his debut. Not the kind of start he would have wanted. Awful back pass straight into the path of Solanke. He scores 1-0. And he's just sitting there like, my word. First start in God knows how long. Get away from Man City and I'll go and do that. And then the rest of the half was dominated by Bournemouth. I thought they played really, really well. And the only problem was that they went in at half time only 1-0 ahead. It should have been at least 2, maybe even 3. They played that well. And when you don't take your chances and you're sitting with such a precarious lead, there's always the opportunity of the other side coming back into the game. And that's exactly what West Ham were able to do. They get a penalty. Second half, James Ward-Prowse scores it. I don't think he hit it as cleanly as he would have liked. He went straight down the middle, but the goalkeeper was very close to saving it with his legs. I think he would have liked a little bit more height on that. But listen, at the end of the day, the ball went in the back of the net, and that's exactly what you need to do. And then the rest of the game was kind of a little bit boring, to be quite honest with you. Nobody really wanted to go for it. There were a couple of moments. But yeah, it just wasn't really pushed. And both sides kind of looked and probably thought, yeah, we'll take a point apiece. West Ham fans at the end of the game booing. And this goes back to something that I was talking on one of my shows a long time ago, is that what do West Ham fans want? Watching that game last night, I do get the sense of like how boring it must be as a West Ham fan seeing that on a constant basis. But you're punching way above your weight. Like West Ham are a million miles ahead of where, you know, they probably should be. David Moyes is doing a great job. And yes, the football's, you know, pragmatic, shall we say. It's not really expansive and beautiful and amazing, etc. But you're where you are in the league. And like, it's decent. As a West Ham fan, you should be, you know, quite happy with the way that things are going. Yes, you would like more, but booing? It's a little bit much if you ask me. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah, so we'll see what happens, you know, with West Ham for the remainder of the season. But I think they're sitting comfortably. I think that they may well, you know, finish in a European place. And we'll see what happens in their European competition that they're still in as well. And yeah, it's not all bad, is it? Next game would be Wolves against Manchester United. What a game this was, especially in the second half. It livened up. First half, Manchester United were complete and utter dominance. 2-0 up. Marcus Rashford scored very early, silenced his critics after everything that's gone on over the last week or so. Højlund gets the second goal. And then Manchester United should have been out of sight, to be honest with you. They were absolute dominant and they just didn't take their chances. And again, it's one of those 2-0. It's one of those precarious score lines where if the other team gets a goal, and that's exactly what Wolves did from the penalty spot. What I'll say with the penalty is that there looks to be minimal, if any, contact. And again, it's consistency. It's, you know, you see the Chelsea-Liverpool game the night before and the penalties that were not given for Chelsea. And then you see that and you just left scratching your head all the time, constantly about decisions. But yeah, listen, Wolves scored it. You thought, right, grandstand finish. And then Manchester United went up the other end and it went 3-1. And you thought, right, that's it, game over. Then it went 3-2. And then injury time, like Manchester United are defending a 3-2 lead and they pushed everyone forward. And I was like, what on earth are you doing? They lose the ball. They get caught on the break. and Wolves equalised 3-3, 93rd minute or something. And I think, wow, Manchester United have thrown this away. Absolute calamitous. You know, the manager would have to take some blame for this, because I felt his substitutes were very negative. I felt that they actually allowed Wolves, you know, more on the front foot and attack them. And yeah, you just, why were they pushing so many men forward when they're 3-2 ahead? Like, that was just suicidal. And it was just, yeah. But it didn't come back to bite them, because they go and get the winning goal. What a goal that was as well. Young lad that's, you know, been playing over the last month or so, and he's been superb in there. He looks a really good player, only 18 years old as well. And yeah, it was like really fortuitous in some respects. It kind of fell to him nicely, but then he done a really good nutmeg, got into a great position, and then the finish was superb. Bent it round the keeper. And it was just chaos, and it was just like, wow. But Wolves would be kicking themselves that they didn't see that one out after being 3-1 down and getting back into the game. And Manchester United, you've got to look at that. And yeah, listen, at the end of the day, they got the 3 points, and it moves them up to 7th in the table. And they'll be buzzing about that, because they got an opportunity of finishing in the top 6. And yeah, that's put them right in and amongst it now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But that was an interesting game. Very, very good game for the neutral, especially the second half in particular, or should we say the last 10 minutes. But Manchester United got the 3 points, and that's all they will be happy about. Last piece of news involves Saïd Benrahma. It's a bit embarrassing for West Ham, this, to be quite honest with you. He got his move to Lyon, was surplus to requirements at West Ham. Went to Lyon, done his medical, pictured in the tracksuit, you name it. He was gone. And then it's collapsed at the last minute, because West Ham didn't complete their end of the paperwork. And Lyon are absolutely fuming about it, and rightly so. They're calling West Ham disrespectful, you know, and what they've done disrespects the organisation and the player and everything else. And it's something to do with, you know, there was an agreement in place, and the pre-contracts all in place, and then they have to get some kind of international transfer stuff done and paperwork, which is all done on a computer now. Lyon completed theirs. We're constantly reminding West Ham that they have to do theirs. And West Ham never started the process, and they never got it done. And it does seem very much like West Ham did this deliberately. There are some, you know, rumours that because West Ham didn't get the players they wanted to get in as replacements, they kind of maybe done something that meant he couldn't go. Listen, it's not great. In this day and age, at the end of the day, when everything's done by computers, it's not the old fax machine stuff. Remember what happened with David De Gea and Real Madrid, but it's none of that anymore. It should be quite straightforward and, you know, a very smooth process. And the fact that West Ham have been caught up in this. Now, Lyon, they've said that they're going to appeal it. They're going to try and get the transfer, you know, through still. But whether they allow that or not, I don't know. But, yeah, West Ham, that's not great on them. It's not good on the player. He's just got to be sitting there now. Do I go back to a club that don't want me and I'm hardly going to get any minutes? Or will I get my opportunity to, you know, revive my career at Lyon? And, yeah, like I said, it's not great for West Ham. This shouldn't be happening in this day and age with all the technology and everything else. But, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. And as for the rest of the transfer window, what a load of rubbish. Boring transfer window. Glad it's closed. Let's get on with the rest of the season. Job done. So yeah, look, listen, that is it for today's DT's Daily. If you are new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.